Oh God, Ed, I just love you so much.
Wow, did you hear those lyrics?
Yeah.
uh, I wasn't. What about the lyrics?
They were not appropriate for children under the age of 13. I'm not going to repeat them. But, I'm really happy to be here with everyone again. I understand that some of you have had children since our last show and may have questions about that. Um, and Jackie, I'm just so happy to see you. I mean, I had to do a show without you recently. Jackie's niece, Gina, filled in for her recently with me, and Gina doesn't have children. And I would say, based on what happened the other night on our show, she probably shouldn't have children in the future.
Yeah, this is something we've known about Gina for a long time, but we love her anyway. Just because she eats meat, we still hold her in our hearts. We do. And for me, I'm just so grateful I got to go. I got to go actually to a spa retreat, and I had my at this spa. They actually do a treatment I've never experienced before. You take iron balls and they rest them on your shoulders. So it's like a weighted blanket, but you're covered in iron balls.
And
And
it's like the weight of the center of the earth is resting on your soul.
yeah, very much so. And
It's called soul balls, if I remember correctly.
soul balls, that's exactly what it's called. So I had me some soul balls.
It
And I'm
sounds like it was a really transformative experience. I mean, what you told me about your vision.
lyrics that are under 13, not appropriate for under 13. But I do have little bruises all over my body now from the soul balls.
Yeah, well, sorry, it's very windy here. That's what the Yelp review said was going to happen. So I'm not surprised.
I'm fine with them. As a matter of fact, what's happening with bruises is that it's bringing the blood to the surface. So in some ways, uh, what's happening is it's releasing the blood clots in your body. But clots isn't quite the right word because a blood clot is an actual thing that can kill you. But instead, blood has a tendency it holds the spirit. Blood will hold the spirit. I don't know if you knew this, but blood can hold the spirit. And what happens when you put the soul balls on your body is you release spirit.
You might have to have Gina co-host with you sometime soon so I can go do one of those retreats.
I'm not going to have Gina co-host. She sounds like she was a nightmare.
Yeah, she gave extremely poor advice to everyone. So yeah, I actually got really upset and I had to leave. So anyway, hopefully that won't happen today because Jackie's back. So maybe we should answer some questions. I understand, Jeff, that we have some questions already.
We do have quite a few very interesting questions. The first one, how should you rotate your twins?
How should you rotate your twins?
I'm so happy to get this question. I feel like people with twins just never even think of it, but it's so important. It's just like rotating your tomatoes or rotating your duvet cover or your mattress or your dogs. First of all, thank you. Thank you to whoever asked the question about rotating twins. Hallelujah. I think people are finally starting to clue in on the importance of rotation.
I don't really understand the question or the answer, so I think maybe we should just move to another topic.
Okay, sure, we can.
I don't think people should be rotated. Like, I think people should rotate themselves if they need to move, or, people should have autonomy over their own bodies. And like the idea of Also, I get really nauseous when I spin around quickly, and I don't think it should be done to children.
So, so Jill, let me explain. I know that you're not familiar clearly with the concept of rotating twins, but it's actually really important when they're babies. You're rotating babies. So, for example, if you have two cribs, it's very important to sometimes put one baby in one crib, and so you have baby A and baby B, put baby A in baby A's crib and baby B in baby B's crib. It's very, very important to occasionally switch it up so that baby A goes in baby B's crib and baby B goes in baby A's crib. It's important.
Oh,
Neurons that fire
well,
together wire together.
that's really interesting, Jackie, because I guess I've been doing that all along without realizing it because, as you know, I don't have twins. But when Sally was a baby, I would sometimes have her come sleep in my bed and I would sleep in her crib.
Mhm.
And that was a way of really building more empathy with my child and having her sort of ponder the meaning of life, what it might feel like to be an adult.
You've nailed it right on the head, Jill, as usual. Yeah, you're just a natural at rotation, clearly.
Thank you.
Can can I see you rotate yourself?
I only like to do that when it's my own.
Oh,
Well, I guess since you asked me to, Jackie, I'll just
oh
do
yeah,
that.
that's
And that's about as far as I feel comfortable rotating, really, right now. I mean, I've got to think about it some more.
I felt the
Maybe,
power in that though. I felt the power in that. The rotation. You're kind of like you're going with the earth.
and I
So
felt like
it's
I could. It changed my perspective. It really it made me think about a lot of things while I was over there.
yeah.
I was thinking about a lot of things differently. So I actually thank you for pushing me out of my comfort zone. I would say everybody watching right now, maybe just turn, 90 degrees to your right. Just sit there for a few breaths and and then just turn back. And it really helps reset your whole nervous system. And I'm sorry about all the background noise where I am, but I can't, that's just the wind. It's nature.
I
So
I feel rotated. You know what? Here's my experience, and this is just my experience. Somebody else is going to have a very different experience, of course, because we are all unique, individual people. My experience was I was looking at Zoom, and I was looking at you, Jill, and I was looking at um, the orange chair and the green plant, and then I turned and I saw my bed, and I saw laundry on my bed.
that must have been really upsetting for you.
I found it fairly profound. Maybe
Well,
it's upsetting. I don't know. Should I not have laundry in my bed?
no, it's okay. Maybe, oh gosh, it wasn't upsetting until I suggested that it was upsetting. I'm sorry, Jackie. My dog's trying to get out. I'm going to let my dog out. My dog's panicking. You're panicking. I think we should take another question while you and the dog try to sort of, calm yourselves a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Another question. Another question.
Okay. The next question I have picked is my child likes to read. Will they become smarter than me? I feel threatened.
Oh. It's so common to feel threatened by our children. From the moment that they're born and you look into their big, beautiful eyes and you think, wow, my eyes weren't that big or beautiful when I was born. Well, what's the matter with me? I probably should never have been born. And then, you start to think about, oh gosh, this is a difficult question for me, Jackie. I don't know if you can,
I mean, I just never thought about it. You're right. Maybe you shouldn't have been born.
I don't, Jackie, that was just a thought I had at one time, right after I gave birth. It was probably the hormones. I don't feel that way now.
I mean, but it's possible you shouldn't have been born. It is. It is possible.
It is possible that I shouldn't have been born. But I was born, and so I might as well just see what happens.
Wait, I'm sorry. What'd you say? You might as well. What? I couldn't.
I might as well just see what happens. I feel like things are going pretty well.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to just keep on going with it and see what happens.
Great. Okay. Good. Because
Yeah.
It's just the possibility that you shouldn't have been born. That it really.
It upsets you.
It never occurred to me that maybe you shouldn't have been born.
It doesn't upset me.
I can see why that's possible that you shouldn't have been born.
It is possible. And I thought about it, at the time that my daughter was born. And, I've really moved past it. It doesn't bother me, but I can see that it bothers you quite a bit. And that's okay.
Sometimes new information.
Yeah.
Breathing.
So this question has to do with reading. And I would just say, if you don't feel comfortable with your child's reading, if it makes you feel threatened, then maybe have them do something else for a while until you can build up your self-confidence. There's a lot of things to do.
You could garden.
They could garden with you.
They could garden with you.
You're probably better at it than they are.
You could build IKEA furniture. It's something that gives me a lot of satisfaction, actually, even though I don't.
Yeah.
But sometimes actually just building IKEA furniture, and then I give it away, because who wants to have IKEA furniture in your house? So
really, the answer,
building it can be really enjoyable with your children, especially.
So have your child build IKEA furniture with you. Give that furniture away, and soon you will find that you don't feel threatened by your child. We have time for some more questions.
Awesome. I have more questions for you. What if your kids are really boring?
Well, then I think, back to the IKEA furniture for one thing. If you just teach them to build IKEA furniture, then it's just such a whole wide world. Like there's no end to that. Just always building the IKEA furniture, especially since the instructions make no sense. But if we're done with IKEA furniture, then there's also they can learn to cook.
They can. Really, if you spend enough time meditating, as Jackie and I do, you will soon realize that most people are quite boring. And that's not a bad thing. We could just sit here right now and not say anything. You might find it boring, but if you really just sit with it, it's okay.
Jill can be very boring.
Yeah. So, we can answer another question.
All right. The next question is, do you ever feel like you're a walking repeat button?
Do I ever feel like I'm a walking repeat button? Do I ever feel like I'm a walking repeat button? Do I ever feel like I'm a walking repeat button? Do I ever feel like I'm a walking repeat button? No.
No. No. No. No, 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 no. No.
Nope.
No. No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
No, 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 no.
No. No. No. No.
No.
No.
Okay, maybe a little bit sometimes. But okay, next question.
Next question is: when are hot dogs enough?
When are hot dogs enough?
I'm thinking about those huskies that I see in July, and it's just so painful for them. I mean, why do people keep huskies in the city? I don't quite understand. But oh,
So the question was about hot dogs, the food, I think.
I was thinking about those beautiful huskies with all that fur
They
right
get really hot. I
inside.
know.
It just seems so unpleasant for
They're
them.
not bred for they're not bred for anywhere outside of the Arctic Circle.
Exactly.
And just like you see chihuahuas walking around in wintertime and they're shaking, I mean, I couldn't even shake that quickly if I tried to shake that quickly. They just shake, and they are not meant to be in any climate other than really close to the equator. So I feel like it's important to like consider your longitude and latitude before you adopt a dog, and hopefully don't buy a dog from a breeder because
No, no.
that's,
Well,
and
unless it's a golden doodle. I mean, I do have a soft spot for golden doodles.
I know, Jackie, we've talked about this and I understand they're hyperallergenic and they have great dispositions and all of that kind of thing. But, we're not here to design living beings. We're here to accompany them in life. So I would encourage you to reconsider that. So I think that the question was about the food. And as you may know, Jackie and I don't eat meat, and certainly we don't eat processed meat. So I would say any number of hot dogs is too many.
I'm still thinking about food and about this whole business of where the dog should be climate wise. This is the thing. I think this is very central to both Jill and my philosophies, despite the fact that we disagree about the doodles. Um, it's like being a locavore, right? We try to buy all of our food from nearby within 50 miles and only to buy produce that's in season. So, for example, I haven't had a tomato since last August because,
I haven't had a banana in my entire life.
well, unfortunately for Jackie, she has never traveled to Indonesia where the bananas grow on trees. And I suspect you had one when you were a child. Didn't you have one when you were a child?
I think I may have, but I think I repressed it, so I'm not sure, and I'd rather not think
That's
about it too much.
Yeah, yeah. I've never had a cantaloupe. I just keep missing the season. It's just, I kind of would like to, and I know that they're probably grown around here, but for some reason, every time I miss it. And cantaloupe, I'd love to try it. Sounds delicious. Do
We
you have
can
any
take,
other question?
yeah, we can take another question. I'm sure we answered that very thoroughly.
Oh, I agree. The next question is: when do they stop sleeping in the bed?
Oh, by they, obviously you mean,
I think they might be talking about the golden doodle, and I
I
know
thought so.
Spotty is never going to stop sleeping in the bed. I would love it if Spotty did, because honestly, there's not always that much space. But my partner in life, Darren, uh, I don't actually care if he sleeps in the bed that much. So sometimes I just kick him out. But Spotty's staying.
Well, Spotty is, but Darren does snore. I found that out when we rented the cabin together.
Mhm.
And Spotty's very quiet and calm, very warm, probably too warm for the climate that you live in, actually, Jackie. But Spotty is very warm.
Well,
Spotty's probably uncomfortably, probably should cut Spotty's hair.
so
It's hair. It's not fur, right? It's hair.
yes, so the thing about Spotty is that Spotty has hair, and Spotty does get a little warm, and I feel guilty about that. I do. I do. So, but what I've gotten for Spotty, because I probably shouldn't have gotten Spotty in this climate, but what I've gotten for Spotty is a special cooling vest for the hot summers. And Spotty isn't like a husky. Spotty has some hair. But for those really hot days, Spotty wears his little cooling vest. It's not mechanical, of course, because that would be not environmentally friendly. So what I do is I replace the ice every half an hour or so in his cooling vest when it's particularly hot outside, mostly July.
So I think that, children and all of us really should stop sleeping in beds. We should get back to sleeping on the earth. So I'm not sure who they was, but whoever they are, they should stop sleeping in a bed.
Jill hasn't slept in a bed since she was quite young. Have you repressed the memory of sleeping in a bed? Do you remember what that's
Yes.
like?
No, I don't. I've successfully repressed that entirely. I don't have any desire to sleep in a bed.
I sleep in beds.
It's fine. It's okay. It doesn't affect our friendship.
Don't need.
So I'm not sure if we have time for another question. It's really okay either way. My energy feels pretty balanced, so you can just let us know.
I feel.
Yeah, we have time for one more if you.
Oh, great!
You're up
That's
for it.
great. That's wonderful.
I think it's pretty appropriate too. Will it ever stop?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I mean, no, it won't. I'm sorry, Jackie, but I think you know that to be true. It will never, never stop. Never. It's okay. She just needs to work through this. Thank you.
I need some iron balls.
She needs to go back to Soul Balls and get some more Soul Ball treatment.
Where's my soul balls?
It could be just that your clots are breaking up and it's releasing a lot of stress hormones into your bloodstream. But anyway, I'm sure it's going to be fine. And I just want everyone to know that it's okay, that it will never stop. And apparently, though, the show does need to stop. So we're going to have to say goodbye. And thank you so much for having us.